Hey, how you guys doing? Welcome to Lee's Homestead. In today's video, I'm going to show you some of my daily routine and how I take care of my chickens. So I ended up outfitting my tractor, well, lawnmower really, to a wagon, and I put my feed in a tote. I end up keeping them 17 pounds of feed in these two different sizes, a 10-pound and a 7-pound feeder. I'm a little bit out of breath because, as you can see, I just got done cleaning. So here's my update. These chickens are just a few weeks away from laying age. They're about 14, 15 weeks old. So here in the next, the latest, probably a month, they'll start laying. But yeah, they're a whole lot bigger than the last video. Anyway, I ended up having to put hay in some totes, and hopefully it'll keep later. So here's the update to my coop that I had built. So on the inside of it, I ended up doing roosting bars. And initially, the bedding that I used in the nesting boxes on the far end, the initial bedding that I used was, as you can see on the ground, these pine shavings, which are good for chicks in their little brooders. But once you get them out here, you really need some straw. So the reason I didn't initially put straw out, able to get it. They were out. So I finally was able to get some straw. I think I have a chicken. Yep. Hey, chickie. She's really curious about what's happening to her house. Yeah, I cleaned it up. But no, they're really beautiful birds, so I can't wait to get some eggs. But yeah, I added natural roosting bars in the nesting boxes. A lot of times they like to roost up on the nesting boxes. All of them will huddle in that corner. Hey, how's it going? So you caught me feeding them. They see this red Solo cup and they go crazy. But anyway, this is my every couple day routine because I've got a 3.5 gallon water that I hang from the ceiling there. And then that nail and that nail is where I hang my feeders, and I'll show you putting them in a minute. Yeah, I know you're probably thirsty. I'm going to go ahead and stop talking and get you some water. So how I have this set up, I take it apart. I take my hose on jet, and I spray that out to clean off their tray. And I'll clean off the top of this. Flip that over. I'll even get the bottom of it just to clean it off, give them something sanitary to drink out of, you know. Go ahead and start filling that up. So once we fill that up, I go ahead and put this Bragg's Organic Apple Cider Vinegar. So this is just the type I use. There's nothing special about it. You can go to Tractor Supply and buy their brand of it. I just put a splash in it. And when I turn that upside down, like I'll show you, it ends up mixing it up for me. So I'll shake whatever excess off of it. But yeah, chickens I've learned that chickens are really easy. So once you get the stuff secured, all you got to do is feed them, water them, and keep everything. And just as easy as that. So I will say, since my last video, we have gotten a lot of stuff done. Installed a pond, there's the coop, and there's the garden that I initially did. That's what we thought this right here was going to be it, but we went ahead and fenced all the way around and decided to garden a whole lot more this year. So it's really been fantastic. This coronavirus thing ended up being a blessing in disguise. Gave us a lot more time to do things that we wouldn't have typically been able to do. So we are definitely blessed as far as being able to garden a little bit and raise some chickens. So I'm definitely grateful for the time I've been able to spend with my family. So I've got electric around it, so I avoid it. Oh, see, I rigged each of my feeders to hang on those. I just made something out of 550 cord where I can put it at different heights as the chickens grew. So it's hanging up off the ground, and that's at least my routine. So next I'll talk a little bit about some of the basic chicken care. But go ahead and I put 3 different latches on it. So the wind, we've got really bad wind here. So this door doesn't open. I'm gonna eventually paint this coop red. But yeah, there's the chickens scratching around in the run. They definitely get used to things once you get them out. They're scared when you first put them in the coop. But then all of a sudden they get very, very social. Because you're the only one that feeds and waters them, or I am. And they end up come running every time I do stuff like this. Up underneath the coop. I left this open so they could get out of the sun, but they love to scratch and dust bathe under there. You can see it. There's some holes right on the other side of the fence. But yeah, they're hilarious. Hi, how you girls doing, huh? Yeah? You got more food and water up there? And they are all super social. I love it. So I ended up shoveling my coop today, and it was an experience. I hate pine shavings. I'll never use those again as a bedding. I couldn't find any straw during the wintertime. I got the chickens in January, and it's now almost May, and hopefully pretty soon they'll be laying. So that'll be nice. All this work into keeping them fed and watered. I can't wait to get some eggs out of it. So that'll be fantastic. So chickens are pretty easy. You can watch my video to see what I did as soon as they came out of the box. Put a little bit of probiotic and electrolytes mix into the water because they're a little bit dehydrated as they come into, well, I say come into the world, but as they come through the mail. I lucked out and they were only in the mail for 2 days. They can live off their yolk up to 3, so I ended up picking a hatchery that was fairly close to Virginia, so up in Pennsylvania. So I knew it was only going to be a little bit of a trip for them to make, because I mean there's online hatcheries you can get from Indiana or halfway across the country. So I mean there's good hatcheries on each part of the United States to where you can get chicks fairly fast, because the longer they're in the mail, the more likelihood you are of getting a dead one. So all 16 of mine survived. I was very blessed. I fed them using the Purina medicated start and grow feed. They're still on it. They'll be on it until week 18. Then I'll switch them to the Purina layer feed. Heck, I will say I do love Purina products. I'm using for my poodle a Purina Pro plan, and he's doing fantastic. His coat looks awesome, and he's got a lot of energy. His poop looks healthy. He's a really healthy dog, so I'm really impressed with the Purina products, because heck, my chickens, as you've seen, are doing excellent. So I enjoy getting out and doing that now. I keep about 17 pounds of food. They go through that every 2 to 3 days, depending on how much they end up, rain and stuff. They're able to scratch around on the run. But I water them every 3 days. That 3.5 gallons of water, I'll go through it in about 3 days. Sometimes 2. Again, it depends on the heat. So I check on them still every day, every other day at the very, very minimum. I ran electric around it to where predators can't get in. I wasn't watching my dog try to get in, and let's just say he won't be trying that again. I heard him yelping, and I thought he got bit by something, and lo and behold, he stuck his nose in the fence trying to get after the chickens. So now he won't go near the coop, poor guy, but I guess that'll teach him not to mess with the chickens. But I haven't had any predators, fox or raccoons get in the coop, so the electric around is great. I go to Tractor Supply and buy the solar panel electric fence. I've learned that the solar fence from Tractor Supply does excellent. It does 5 miles of fencing. Now, you have to watch that. It says 5 miles, but if you read on the back of the box, it says for a single strand. So you have to divide however many strands you have on your fence by whatever number of strands into the 5 miles to determine how many miles you're actually going to get out of it, depending on how many strands of your fence you want. I have 3 at the bottom of my coop and run because, I mean, it does fine. I test it and it still maxes out at 7,000 volts. So it keeps everything out. But heck, talking about this coronavirus stuff, I mean, social distancing is nice when you live out in the country. I mean, heck, I do this every single day that I'm off work. I'm on my swing in my garden now, right beside my pond and the chickens and everything. My wife's going to grow some cut flowers around here, so we'll start selling bouquets in the farmers markets around here. And I've already planted my potatoes. They're doing well. There's a video of me planting them there. They've worked out. I'll do another video later on how I planted each thing and how it's growing and what I've learned throughout my time. One thing I've learned about the chickens is when you plan for them, have your coop and stuff built. I did have that done. One thing I didn't do, though, is already have straw lined up for them when they get out into their coop. I mean, it'll keep in your garage for a good while, as long as you keep it dry, keep mice and stuff out of it. But also with that, make sure you get adult feeders and waters because they grow fast. I mean, crap. I had them out here at week 8. So how I ended up doing it, because I got them in January, so they were out beginning of March. I put them out in the coop. So I put 3 different lamps in it to keep them warm. So there'd be it's just the lamps you get at Tractor Supply. I put them up and secured them with screws up in the top part of my coop so they can shine down, and they heated that thing nicely. So we had some nights that was down in the 20s, and they did excellent. As you can tell, they're all happy and healthy. So then, as it got warmer, I took out the lamps until, once they're fully feathered, they can survive by huddling. I mean, crap, once they fully feathered out, I took all the lamps out, and we've had even the last couple of nights here in April, we've gotten down in the 30s, and they're doing just fine. So once they feather out, you can take out the lamps. And but yeah, I ended up having to buy a bigger water and another feeder. So just go ahead and buy 2 feeders and heck, 2 waters if you have more than 16 chickens, because I got 16 hens and they're eating a lot. Don't underestimate it. I buy bag by, in the 50-pound bags worth. I buy 2 bags every time I go. So that lasts me about a month for 16 chickens. So if you have any more than that, I mean, heck, you're going to have to buy 3 and 4 bags at a time of the start and grow. So just go ahead and buy it in bulk if you can. And keep it in totes, keep it dry, keep insects out of it. And it keeps well in the totes. But I've absolutely enjoyed having these chickens. And it's been awesome. I mean, I know it's sad, all the death and things going on with this COVID-19, but I will say the one thing that, you see kind of the bright light in the darkness is, I've been able to spend time with my family. We've had time to garden, take care of our animals, and really evaluate what's been truly important in life. So one thing that I do hope you're doing is staying happy and healthy. You're able to keep from getting sick. This is a nasty virus that's going around. But hey, I hope you guys are doing well. If you like what you see, go ahead and subscribe. I'm going to keep pumping out videos. And you guys stay safe and stay healthy. And I'm praying for all you guys. I'll see you next time.